What is going on, everybody? My name is Tyler, and welcome to Rocket Combat Sports TV. And my next guest is going to be headlining Rocket Combat Sports 21. We'll be fighting Alan Stephenson for the welterweight title. Of course, we have Chris Rollins on the program today. Chris, welcome. And I'm excited to get the opportunity to chat with you ahead of your headliner.
What's up, my man? I appreciate you always reaching out and just like I said, giving the platform to spread the word for this area for MMA and not just myself, for other fighters that are coming up. You're the man.
Well, actually, you're the man. You're the boss. I mean, that's kind of weird. I have to interview my own boss for this show. That's kind of weird
Yeah,
/ cool, right?
yeah, I wear many hats. Matchmaking, running the whole thing, being the CEO, lightweight champ, soon to be welterweight champ. Plate's full, but I love it.
Absolutely. Well, Chris, we just had an amazing event, Rocket Combat Sports 20, that happened this past June. And I was hoping you could tell a little bit about the success of that event and then just putting together another epic fight card in Rocket Combat Sports 21. You must have been a pretty busy dude over the first few weeks of the summer.
Yeah, booking kind of two shows back to back was definitely kept me busy. Um, sometimes you make these fights and on paper you think they're going to be great. I'm like, from top to bottom, I thought 20 could potentially be the best show we've ever had as far as even matchups all the way through, and man, every fight delivered all the way through the card. I'm like, man, I really outdid myself for now. I felt like more pressure for 21. Now I'm like, man, how can I top the 20 card? I mean, you were there. I mean, every fight was amazing. Just as the card went, it just got greater and greater, and that's just a testament to all the fighters on the card believing in me, is matching them, telling them what the other opponents are. I like to make fair fights, and I think that was a display of the next wave of talent coming up with even matchmaking, and it made for an epic night.
It absolutely did. The event delivered. We had a lot of finishes. We saw a lot of really insane, promising talents emerge in Rocket Combat Sports 20. I was hoping I could pick your brain a little bit about Rocket Combat Sports 21. Is there a fight on here, apart from your own, that you really think the fans are going to be in for a treat?
To be honest, like I said, we got 4 title fights on this, and some people that don't really dig into the cards that much, you'll see a show pop a title fight. You might have a guy that's don't have a better like a 2 fights or not many, but like these are like 4 legitimate badass title fights. We had 2 pro title fights, 2 amateur title fights. But the undercard's gonna be amazing. That kickboxing fight we just announced today is gonna be you think Chris Buffalo? He's a 145-pound kickboxing champion. I think he's 5-0 in the RCS cage kickboxing, taking on a game. Chris Miller. I mean, that right there's going to be action-packed. And then you get the co-main event with a Mitt trying to become double champ. He's a 135-pound champion, taking on a very game veteran. I mean, top to bottom, I think this card hopefully delivers again, but we'll see.
Chris, in the intro, you discussed something that I think is really important. Obviously, you're an active prize fighter, but in addition to that, you're also the head promoter and the matchmaker. Can you tell me a little bit, like, how awkward is it, like, matchmaking fights for you? Because, you get hit up these guys like, hey, man, I got to fight.
Yeah,
But it'll be against me. Is that, like, ever weird for you? Or is it just, like, matchmaking as you normally do it?
most of the time, if I'm going to be on the card, I'll have somebody else from my team kind of match me because it is kind of awkward. But this is actually the first time that I actually matched my own fight. Backstory: Alan and me, my opponent, we trained when I was my day one. I was training, walked into the gym. He was already an amateur champion. We trained for 2-3 years, something like that. Now we parted ways and kind of went on my own way, making my own way. And years later, so I was scrolling on Facebook, and he's like, "I'm trying to fight this summer." And I'm thinking, well, damn, man, he was a 155-pound champ back in the day. I was the 45-pound champ. I'm like, man, we might as well just do it. But I know that he ain't gonna make 155 pounds anymore, so I hit him up and said, "Hey, man, I see you want to fight. I think the biggest fight you can get is me. Let's do it at 170." And he was like, "You'll fight at 70?" I was like, "I haven't before, but I'm down to do it. Let's make it happen." And actually, it was easy. We just came together. So all the old school fans for like 2012 and 13, they're excited about this fight because, man, Alan was the man. I was the man. We were on the same team, but 2 different weight classes. So it's like now, I kind of say we were fighting for Fight Night Challenge back in them days, but now I'm like, this is the BMF fight for the Fight Night Challenge days. So yeah, it was kind of weird, but it's like it's part of the business, and I'm here to make the biggest fights I can take. Going to 170 is a hard fight for me, no matter who you are. But if you go back and look over my career, majority of my fights, probably 80% are 145 pounds. And then I moved to the lightweight, and I've been, I think, 6-1 instead of going to 155. And this will be my first fight at welterweight, so this is a first for me. But I'm on to take a hard challenge. That's what I try to pride myself. That's why I try to separate myself as a promoter in Rocket Combat Sports. No knock on other promotions, but no other promoter is fighting like me and taking on these hard fights over and over. I've been doing it actively. I got the most fights in Virginia right now. That's an active fighter that lives here in Annam, so I feel like I'm the man putting on fights and taking fights.
Well, the face-off that you guys had at Rocket Combat Sports 20 was definitely one of the key moments of that event that I came away with. I'm really looking forward to the fight here in a few weeks. But zeroing in more specifically on you, what's really interesting is this is your first bout in Virginia since July of 2023. You've been fighting on the road these past few years. How excited are you to get the opportunity to compete not only in Virginia, but in your hometown?
Yeah, like I've been going to everybody's backyard for the last 3 or 4 fights, like you said, their hometown. So now I'm just kind of like, it's cool to be at home, but you kind of got a little bit. I ain't gonna say pressure, but people hitting you up when they come to do the tickets. But me being a promoter, anything that happens fight week, they're gonna call me to put out the fires, and I got to fight on top of that. But I know what I signed up for when I did it. It's pretty cool to fight at my hometown, the high school. 2007, I graduated there and got MVP for football. So all these years later, I'm almost pushing 36 now. I'm still competing and representing. So I'm just trying to do it for, I don't need to fight anymore. I'm doing it because I love it, and I want to put on for all my kids at my gym. I want them to see that their coach can go out there and do what I tell them to do, and all my young fighters. My guys had a little bit of a rough patch at RCS 20 that, my own gym, I match them hard. We lost all of our fights last month. So I feel like I'm the leader, so I got to get this thing back on track.
Well, you have the opportunity to do that when you go up against Alan Stephenson. He is a guy that's had a lot of success in his MMA career. And like you, this is also a guy that doesn't typically go to decision. A lot of power. This guy has the ability to put his opponent away. And that's got to kind of excite you also in a way. Do you see some similarities in your game and his?
Yeah, I really think we're fighting styles is very, very similar. We both won 5 out of our last 6 fights. It's not like we're two older guys going the downhill of their fighting days when we're winning, the last 5 out of 6. That right there scares me. Going to 170 scares me. I think my last fight, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't really nervous and scared, and I think that affected me. When I'm scared and nervous is when you see me at my best, and I think once you're not nervous anymore and scared, then it's time to move on in the sport. So he makes me want to get up in the morning when I'm sore and go put in the extra work because I know he's coming to take me out, but I'm gonna take him out.
Chris, when I think about you stylistically, obviously you're a mixed martial artist. You can do a little bit of everything. That's the name of the game. But I associate you with boxing first and foremost. I associate you with pressure and the ability to find these knockouts pretty early. Is that going to be a key part of your strategy here against Alan Stephenson, or do you have a surprise cooked up for him?
To be honest, I'm gonna meet him in the middle of the cage, and wherever the fight goes, I'm gonna break him, and I respect him, but I've worked too hard to let somebody come to my hometown and beat me. I know he's coming. No pressure on him. Weight won't be a problem. I'm not going to say, oh, it's me going to 170 or whatever. I'm coming in there. I'm a small 170. I can make weight any week at 170. That don't matter. If I walk outside and somebody tries to fight me right now, I'm not going to ask them their weight. I'm going to fight you. That's just what I am. So I'm going to represent August 16th.
Chris, you've accomplished so much in the combat sports world. You've reached heights of this sport that most people don't ever really get to. You already answered part of this question when you told me, hey, man, I'm going out there because I love it and I want to put on a show, especially for the people that I coach and then for my hometown. But you go out here and you capture this title. Can you just explain to me, like, what would that mean for you at this point in your career to not only have a featherweight title on your wall, a lightweight title on your wall, but potentially a 170-pound title also on your wall?
It mean the world to me. That's the big challenge. I want, like I say, that'll be my third belt at 3 different weight classes. As you know, I did a lot of boxing. I've been on the Jake Paul card we've talked about, fought on Showtime. You know, boxers don't like to move up a lot in weight. You know what I mean? So like, I feel like I'm the last of a dying breed of the old school fighters. Like, so I'm going to 170. I got to take care of business here. Alan's a real threat, and then take care of him. And I got some other huge opportunities to go ahead. But if I can't get the job done in August, then no point talking about that. I know he's going to train hard. I mean, his coach was my coach. They know I'm tough. They know I'm gritty. I mean, there's no secrets there. So we know each other. We haven't sparred in, like, I think maybe 2013 or 14 was the last time. I sparred a few times after I wasn't there, but you're talking at least 10 years. So we both evolved since we've, sparred each other. So there ain't going to be no glove touching and hugging. I'm coming to fight. He's coming to fight. So I can promise that. Y'all know my style, Wayne. I'm not doing all that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, August 16th will be fight night. Make sure you buy your tickets for the event and do that early, because this event is likely going to sell out. The information for all of the tickets will be in the description for this video. Chris, I actually wanted to turn it over to you. If there's anything that you want to talk about or anyone that you want to thank before I let you go, let's do it.
Like you said, I just want to thank my close family. I got a small group, my gym, my kids, my girlfriend, their support day in and day out. It looks cool on social media, but I put my body through hell, and they see the after effects of some of these fights and the injuries I've had, and some days, your body's not feeling good, and so as I gotten older, I just, I gotta, as much as I train, I gotta recover too, and so I just want to put on for everybody. Even so, like we talked about last thing, the fighters. I want to put on for the Rocket Combat Sport for other fighters. They inspired me even more watching them at 20. I'm like, wow, they went there and laid it on the line. So then when they come fight for me, I want them to know that I'm doing the same thing they're doing. And I respect every fighter that steps in that cage and fights for me. And I want to just go out there and represent Rocket Combat Sports as a brand. And I want to hold both of them belts up and have pictures of my kids after the fight. That's all I'm visualizing. I know it's not going to be easy. But at the end of the night, I'm going to have the 155-pound belt and the 170 belt. I'm going to say I did it, and I'm going to have my family there and take a picture, and that's all I'm thinking about.
Well, Chris, I wish you the best of skill at Rocket Combat Sports 21, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
All right. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, brother.